Hey VC, it's Joel coming at you from Planet 13, and this is my contest entry to Dr. October's contest. If you haven't watched Dr. October, I'll leave a link below. I suggest you go check him out. Really cool guy, very casual, natural in front of the camera, always entertaining. He has a beer or two, and he just talks about music, and he's a lot of fun to watch. He puts a lot of video edited jokes kind of in, with zooms on his face and close-ups, and just a lot of cool stuff. Really enjoying what you're doing there. And funny stuff. Talks about a lot of stuff I'm interested in, which is hard rock, heavy metal, punk, movies, and he's got a lot of cool memorabilia and stuff to look at in the background. And this contest of his, there's only like two rules. First rule is you got to be under 8 minutes, and the second rule is just show 3 albums. And I know Dr. October is a fan of Black Acid Devil, which is Danzig's 5th album. And he also likes the Michael Graves era of the Misfits. So him and I are a bit of kindred spirits. So I'm going to show a soundtrack that has, I think, a track off of Black Acid Devil, or not at least off that album, but I think it was created at the same time. I think it was recorded in 1996, and it appeared on the soundtrack in 1998. And that is the soundtrack for the X-Files, the TV show, not the movie. And on this soundtrack, they'd play these songs in the actual TV show. So I remember getting this, and I remember watching the TV show and hearing Danzig, and I was ecstatic. I was a big Danzig fan. I like Black Acid Devil 5. Obviously, it's not Danzig's best. I'm with Dr. October, like 2 or 4. I can't choose. But 5 was pretty good, and it's a big change. It was industrial metal, and it's on, there's a track that's kind of industrial metal on here. It's called Deep. But you get other cool songs on here as well. You get Nick Cave's Red Right Hand, which is a very famous song now. It's appeared in so much media. It's everywhere. But I remember it was on this, and it was on an X-Files episode, of course. Every song, again, on here was used in an X-Files episode. And it was in the Scream movies. And I think as the Scream movies progressed, so they originally made 3, and as each one progressed, Nick Cave would change the lyrics a bit to kind of suit that movie. Maybe not for 2, but I know he did it for 3. There's a different version on 3. So I thought that was cool. And there's a song on here by Filter, and you get Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper doing a song together back, 1998. That's pretty cool. And it's a cool song. It's called Hands of Death, Burn, Baby, Burn. So it's kind of more of a Rob Zombie song with Alice vocals, I'd say. And you get other cool bands on here. You get William S. Burroughs doing a song with REM. And you get Sheryl Crow, and you get Soul Coughing, and you get another Nick Cave song where you have to rewind the CD, which is unheard of. So you had to put your CD in and hit the back button to get to the secret track. That's cool. It doesn't really work on every CD player, but it worked on mine, and it's cool to have that. So first soundtrack is the X-Files soundtrack. Second soundtrack, people forget this is a soundtrack, but it's AC/DC's Who Made Who. So this was a soundtrack to the movie Maximum Overdrive, which was a Stephen King short story first, and then Stephen King himself directed the movie. It's not a great movie, but I enjoy it. It's a guilty pleasure. It's a good movie to watch when you're just kind of wanting to kill some time on a Saturday afternoon. It's funny. It's cheesy. It's about trucks and electronics that come alive and try and kill people. And there's this one spooky truck. It's got like the Green Goblin face from Spider-Man kind of on it, and it's the main villain, but it works. And you get this vending machine that comes alive and shoots at Coke cans, and you get an electronic knife where some lady's cutting turkey in a diner and almost cuts her hand off. And it stars Emilio Estevez. It's a B movie, a great movie, and it's got an AC/DC soundtrack and lots of great AC/DC songs on here. You got Who Made Who, You Shook Me All Night Long, Sink the Pink, Ride On, Hell's Bells, Chase the Ace, and For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. So 9 tracks on here. AC/DC, great soundtrack, great album. Recommend it if you don't have it, but I'm sure everyone has this, probably on cassette or it's owned it at one time. Final soundtrack that I'm going to show, tied with my favorite. I didn't want to show my favorite because I'm assuming other people are going to show that as their favorite, but my favorite for this video, it's going to be the score for Taxi Driver. I love this score. It's by Robert Herman. He did the Psycho soundtrack. Everyone knows the Psycho soundtrack. Not many people know this one, but this is great. I don't have it on vinyl yet. I would love to get it on vinyl. I will one day. But yeah, just fantastic soundtrack. Very, so this takes place in New York, and every time I hear this, this just reminds me of old New York, that grimy, kind of crime-ridden New York, which, this movie takes place in. Reminds me of old school Scorsese, old school De Niro. Just a wonderful soundtrack. Highly recommend it. Anyway, that is my contest entry. And until next time, cheers.